Well, more aid has been allowed into the Gaza Strip over the past week, but aid groups are warning that the humanitarian crisis is far from over. United Nations agencies and other organizations have scaled up the amount of supplies entering through the Rafah border crossing with Egypt, but officials say what's being provided so far is insufficient to meet the needs of more than 2 million people living there. Ricardo Pires joins us now. He is a spokesperson for the United Nations International Children's Fund, commonly known as UNICEF. Ricardo, you've said that the pause in aid has been a, quote, game changer for the relief effort. How has it helped?
Thanks for having me, Lana. Well, this pause has been a game changer because for the first time, we managed to get enough aid in Gaza that has been delivered to hundreds of thousands of children who were left literally alone in the dark, scared, feeling unsafe. And we managed to reach, for example, 1 million children with water, people rather, and that is a game changer for them because until then they were getting very, very thirsty and eventually dehydrated and having to drink contaminated water, which could lead to waterborne diseases such as diarrhea outbreaks, or eventually even worse. And now, because that safe water has reached them, that risk reduced considerably. But it's still a drop in the ocean. The needs are too great for the amount of trucks and supplies that are crossing into Gaza right now, regardless of the ceasefire and the temporary humanitarian pause, which is always welcome, of course, and we call for it to be extended. The needs were already immense in Gaza before the October 7th, and now this number has just increased significantly. So we hope that we can hold this ceasefire and more supplies can get in for so many children in need.
Well, Ricardo, when you say that the aid so far has just been a drop in the ocean, and it's such a challenge that you have trying to help the children of Gaza, what are your main priorities then for UNICEF?
Well, as I mentioned, water is a big priority, Lana, because without clean, safe water to drink or without functioning water and hygiene infrastructure, the risk of disease outbreaks increases significantly in a place, one of the most densely populated places on the planet, where half the population are children. So having safe water for children, but as well as food and medication, are the key priorities. Hospitals are overwhelmed with patients, overwhelmed with children who've been injured after over 7 weeks of relentless attacks and bombings and a lot of death and loss. So we need to make sure that those three areas, water, food, and public health and access to safe health, continues, regardless of the humanitarian pause continuing or not.
And I'm thinking about the challenge that you have, Ricardo, trying to provide aid and not knowing if this pause will be extended again. What are your concerns? How will it change everything for you if the fighting resumes?
Well, Lana, let's put it like this. If the fight resumes, the nightmare continues for children. We've had over 5.3 thousand children reportedly killed since this conflict started, at least 9,000 children injured, and at least 1,700 children under the rubble or missing. So these numbers are unprecedented. We are seeing now 40% of the casualties in this war being children. This is a war on children. So what concerns us is that once the fighting starts again, these numbers will continue to pick up and reach even more unprecedented levels, and this is unacceptable. We need to make sure that international humanitarian law and compassion prevail right now over bombings and bullets and killing of children.
And let's play that out. Let's imagine that it comes to an end. What will the aid effort look like when the war is over?
Immense, immense. Gaza was already a place, and the state of Palestine at large, where humanitarian needs were big. I mean, we, before this conflict started, had an average of 500 trucks crossing into Gaza with humanitarian supplies and commercial goods to keep the cities functioning, the commerce functioning, the agriculture functioning, everything functioning. And that number is now much less, and there is large-scale destruction. Infrastructure has been destroyed. So, in a way, the Gaza will need to be rebuilt after and when, and hopefully this war ends. And it's hard to imagine how big the needs are, but we know that as far as children are concerned, they're going to be very big, including on psychosocial support for children who are struggling with mental health issues and were struggling before the 7th of October.
Okay. Ricardo Pires of UNICEF, thank you.